breaking news in America's coal mining country. We now know today's deadly mine explosion in West Virginia has claimed the lives of at least 7 workers, and that number could rise substantially. At this hour, rescue teams are working frantically into the night in search of 19 unaccounted for workers. It was mid-afternoon, 3 p.m., the end of the day shift at the Upper Big Branch mine, when a massive explosion ripped through the mountain. Miner Steve Smith was near the blast.
It was almost like a tornado. It stopped us dead because we couldn't go any farther because there was so much air coming towards us, we couldn't move. So we had to turn around and back up and go back out the other way.
Another witness said the explosion caught the mountains on fire. First responders on the scene began a frantic rescue operation. Helicopters in the landing zone took the injured and dead to nearby hospitals and morgues. The early reports, 7 miners were killed, and at least 19 are missing, trapped in the mine. And as so often in coal country over the years, the families and friends waited for word.
Immediately, people start bringing food and water, but mostly they pray. This is a praying community. This area is, they come together really fast. So other than that, what can you do?
West Virginia has seen more than its share of coal mining tragedies. In 2006, the Sago mine disaster trapped 13 miners for 2 days. Only 1 survived. In a heartbreaking misunderstanding, mining officials there at first released incorrect information, leading families to believe all the trapped miners were safe. Hours later, the grim news. Last year, 34 miners died on the job in the United States. The explosion at the Upper Big Branch mine today came the same day more than 100 workers were miraculously rescued from a Chinese mine 8 days after a flooding accident. 38 miners there remain unaccounted for. The Upper Big Branch mine is owned by Massey Energy Corporation, one of the country's biggest coal companies. The mine has extra oxygen stored along emergency escape routes and airtight chambers, the company says, which can keep trapped miners alive for up to 4 days.
It's a rescue operation. It is definitely not a recovery operation. The refuge chambers have the ability to have 96 hours of oxygen in them. So we have time on our side.
It's just a tough time for the area down there, and I think with all these safety features and things that we came along with it, maybe we got it in our heads that we weren't going to have another one of these things like this, and it looks like we are.
Time on our side, they say. We certainly hope so. Our search will continue to monitor. We turn now to our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross. He's reported extensively for Nightline on controversies involving Massey Energy Company and CEO Don Blankenship. Brian, what can you tell us about Massey's safety record here?
Well, Terry, this is the 6th largest mining company in the country based on production, and it has a checkered safety record. Federal safety records show that this mine alone has had 3 fatalities over the last 12 years, and in the last year, there are reports of a spike in violations by federal safety officials. 6 violations alone this year, 1 just last week. Some of them repeat, almost all of them involving issues with ventilation, which prevents explosions from coal dust. As well, this company, over the years, other subsidiaries have had serious safety issues. The company last year paid out $4.2 million in civil and criminal fines for another mine fatality that killed 2 people.
That's the safety record of the company. Of course, they don't have any indication at this point what caused this explosion. But what about Massey's CEO, a controversial guy, Don Blankenship?
Well, Don Blankenship has become very controversial in West Virginia, where he's been a major factor in politics there, spending millions of dollars and raising millions more to support certain candidates, including members of the West Virginia Supreme Court, who then voted in his favor on certain key cases. When ABC News tried to ask him about that in a recent report on Nightline, he attacked our cameraman and said, "You're liable to get shot if you take pictures of me."
I remember that. All right, Brian, thanks very much for that reporting.